Well, one of the most eagerly anticipated movies of the year makes its premiere the world over. Sony Pictures' The Da Vinci Code made its debut at the Cannes Film Festival and amid fanfare and controversy. But as CNBC's Jerry Cobb reports, the word on the movie has been less than divine.
Early reviews from the Cannes Film Festival are not encouraging. The Da Vinci Code was supposed to make a bang with its worldwide premiere here. Instead, it's more like a whimper.
It's not suspenseful, it's not romantic, it's certainly not fun. It seems like you're in there forever, and you're just conscious of how sort of hard everybody's working to try to make sense out of something that's basically perhaps unfilmable.
Action.
Sony spent a reported $125 million making the Da Vinci Code and millions more to market the film. Amid talk of a potential boycott by Christian groups, the studio launched a website for religious leaders to discuss and debate the film's controversial premise that Jesus Christ and Mary Magdalene married and had a child.
I think Sony's done a very good job trying to engage the Christian community. Controversy is better than no publicity at all. And so they knew that if they got people talking, it would create the buzz that it's generated up to now.
After disappointing openings for Paramount's Mission Impossible 3 and Warner Brothers' Poseidon, Hollywood is desperate for a hit to kick summer moviegoing into high gear. And the pressure is on Sony to save the season from another disaster like last summer, when ticket sales sank into a 19-week slump.
Well, so far, it's been a little lackluster. But I think you're going to see some big numbers from Da Vinci, and with the sequels coming up, the new Pirates, the Superman Begins, the X-Men, along with Cars, we're expecting a pretty big box office.
Sony is counting on a big built-in audience for the Da Vinci Code based on the more than 60 million copies of the book printed so far. But the movie will have just 2 weeks to prove itself before the next summer tentpole film, X-Men 3, hits theaters. Jerry Cobb, CNBC Business News, Los Angeles.
Well, the Hollywood adaptation of the best-selling novel has sparked renewed protests amongst Catholic communities worldwide. Some Asian countries are delaying the release of the film until public concerns are addressed. And as the Cannes premiere got underway, some 200 Roman Catholics, including priests, demonstrated in Paris. Many Catholics are angered by the story's theme, suggesting Jesus Christ married Mary Magdalene and established a dynasty. Director Ron Howard advised those who would be offended by the movie not to see it. Its main star, Tom Hanks, remains unmoved by the controversy.
They may hate the movie, or they might not have any problems with it, rightly so. As far as it's not up to me to decide if I'm having a good hair day. I trust the press to communicate that opinion around the world at lightning speed.
Well, Tom Hanks may be flippant about the uproar, but one Catholic group is especially unhappy about its portrayal in the book and film. Opus Dei is painted as a power-hungry cult bent on covering up the alleged truth about Christ's bloodline. Opus Dei was actually formed in 1928 in Madrid by priest José María Escrivá de la Balaguer. Its name means the work of God, and members are expected to evangelize and to observe daily religious devotions. One of our regular analysts is also the vice director of the Opus Dei Youth Center in Hong Kong's New Territories, Sui Wu. Ruben Mondaha joins us from our Hong Kong studios. Now, Ruben, your group is portrayed in the book and as well in the film as a shady group. What do you think about this tag, this cult tag that's been put on the group itself?
Well, we have the distinctive honor indeed of having been included in the book. Now we are very, very popular. It's an unwanted celebrity status that we have. But anyway, the book has a magic. It put together several things. It put Opus Dei, the Catholic Church, the mystery, and all that. That forms a magic, though the book itself has bad prose and badly written. But that notwithstanding, the magic that it has composed made it into a top seller list. Now, what does Opus Dei want? Now, we have adopted actually the concept of 4 Ps. We have to be positive, we have to be polite, we have to be professional, and we have to be patient. So we are not advocating any boycott, because we believe that if any boycott takes place, it will just contribute to the box office sales. So as Jesus Christ said, the bad weeds will grow with the good. And that's what I mean by being patient. We wrote a letter to Sony, a very polite letter to say that at least they should put a disclaimer that the movie is fiction. That somehow has not happened.
All right,
so
Ruben, what exactly are you protesting about the book? What are the ideas that you don't agree with?
Well, first is to portray the Catholic Church as having covered up this supposedly fact, according to Brown, that Jesus Christ fathered a child. That's really offensive to Christians around the world. Secondly, is the principal tenet of Christianity is the Blessed Trinity. 3 persons in one God. Now, this book says that Jesus Christ was not God, so that debunks the Blessed Trinity, which is a principal tenet of belief in the Christian religion.
Some would say, though, Ruben, that any publicity is good publicity. So you could see it as perhaps this is a way to start debate about Opus Dei, about Catholicism. Would you agree with that?
Agree, so very much so, absolutely. So not only about Opus Dei, but I think about Christianity in general. I think it's a wake-up call for all Christianity to re-explain, because probably for centuries Christianity has failed to explain its claims. And I think this is somehow in the Christian religion we believe to bring out good out of something bad. So I think that this is not like a lost deal. You're taking advantage of this to explain to people the beauty of the Christian religion, what are its claims, and where does Opus Dei stand within the Catholic Church, because it is an institution of the Catholic Church to serve the Church.
Well, Ruben, as we've seen, there's been a lot of protests from the Catholic communities, but then again, there was a lot of protests about Mel Gibson's Passion of Christ when it first came out as well. But a lot of Christian communities, in the end, supported the movie. They went and saw the movie. Do you think this will be the same thing with the Da Vinci Code?
No, because the Passion of the Christ actually was a movie that actually tried to put in fine detail the last 12 hours of Christ. This is just the opposite. This is trying to debunk what Jesus Christ is supposed to represent to Christians. And this is, I think, it begins with an offensive message, while the Passion of the Christ began with a message that Christ suffered really superbly. And I think there was even an extreme. I think the Passion of the Christ brought it to a very large, the opposite, I would say, point of the scale. So that's why people sometimes revolted against this extreme violence.
All right, Ruben, just one final question before we go. Are you about to go and see the movie? And 2, what do you think about the weak reviews?
Well, I'll wait for the DVD, the answer to your first question. The reviews, in a way, as a Catholic, I'm pleased that even non-Catholics have seen that, the gamble they have taken on this movie did not work. To the adapted screenplay, to transfer the book to a movie is always a big gamble. So Tom Hanks is also taking a gamble. Ron Howard is also taking a gamble.
All right, Ruben, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you very much for being with us and sharing your views today. Ruben Mondeha of Opus Dei. And that's a wrap of the World News. Mandy, back to you.
As you say, no publicity is bad publicity. Fauziah, it sounds as if it's so bad. I want to go and see it. I want to go and see why it's getting weak reviews now. Thanks a lot for that. Fauziah Ibrahim in the newsroom.